was interesting this week. While we're talking about Currie Cup, before we even go into any of the games, we spoke about that man Keita. We spoke about that man Keita, and we were saying he's been knocking on doors, and the Sharks, they came up and they were like, oh yes. Come
Edwin Keita and his agent, they were on the phone. They're like, Jerry Maguire, show me the money.
Hey man, and he got that money. He got that bus.
Yeah, I've said it before. The devil works hard, but Rock Nation works harder.
Rock Nation works harder. You said it before, man. But yeah, with Currie Cup, starting with that, it was the midweek game, Griquas against the Lions. I think it was a tough one for your boys. I think again, officiating. Look, there's a issue. I think there's a pandemic within the game, and it's it's the officiating. Because look, geez, it was there were so many decisions there that were so questionable, and from a referee, you would not necessarily expect that from. But all in all, I think, Keita was on fire in that game. And I think the start that the Griquas had was just, they got the advantage mistake from the Lions with the kickoff, and they were just chasing it. And then I asked you, and I said to you as well about your fullback, and he doesn't disappoint me, that guy. He never fails to disappoint because, man, what? He was the first Keita try. It was him, and he got the yellow card as well. It's just, he just didn't have a good game. He's just been not having a good time at the Lions. If you feel you, and you got to feel for him because you can see he's trying, but it's just not working out. I don't know what he needs to do. Maybe he needs to go and, I don't know, go speak to his people, I don't know, but he needs an intervention, but, oh man, geez. Yeah, like I said, the refereeing is not good, but the key players that I picked out there, I think one, JC now was running good angles for me, getting momentum, except there was no execution, especially that first half, because it was tight, man, it was almost tit for tat in terms of the play, which was exciting. Good open game, Sangweni, for me, he just keeps on impressing me, that young man. Yeah. I really like the look of him, And then Ashland Davids as well. I couldn't help when I was busy and I was watching and I was just like, geez, okay, he's looking so assured. I think the most assured I've seen him in a while, really. If you think about like the different teams that he's played for and how he's played.
And changing position. I mean, he was playing 10 for a long period of time. Then obviously going pro, they moved him to 9 and 10 because of, size issues. Then now they've put him at 15 and it seems to be where he's working out.
Yeah, I think that's his own there. But all in all, good win for the Griquas on there. Unlucky to you and your boys' quarters. Like,
the Lions, I just want to put it out. Lions are useless. I'm not even going to try and say like, okay, it's this, it's that. Lions are useless. It's terrible. It's terrible to watch. It's terrible because I mean, even when it was close, but what's coming. What's coming. That eventually it's not going to be enough. And my thing is, okay, you've cleared the books. There's no more Mapus. There's no more Combrings. There's no more, those guys that were experienced that have the bigger contracts. You've loaded up on the veteran players, the Willem Alberts, the Yanni Duplessis that can teach the young guys. But there's no guys in the middle. There's no guys that have Bok aspirations that are sort of at their peak years.
Yes.
You only have guys that are up and coming and guys that are over the hill. And
they're not.
Everyone that is in between is not good enough.
Absolutely right. I think the balance. I think they haven't found. I think this time around the recruitment hasn't been good. Whereas previously, and what got them to be where they are is that they were able to get the right guys in there, and perhaps.
But they're no longer bringing in those guys. What they're doing is they're bringing, our youth recruitment is very good. I mean, you're seeing Sangweni's come through. You're seeing MJ Pelso coming through.
Yeah.
But it's those guys that they were picking up, fringe guys from Varsity Cup, guys that weren't working out with the Bulls, guys that weren't working out here, there, and everywhere, and turning them into the Mostards and giving them that opportunity to come play. But they're not picking up those guys anymore. It seems like they're focused on youth contracts. And so does that mean we're going to wait 3-4 years before we start winning? And it's unfortunate because there's a guy like Chituka there.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about him in the Bulls game, but there's a guy like that who's giving his all. And you're not putting the guys around him to elevate him even more. But
and he's candidate, not even candidate. He is man of the house at the Lions. You see the difference.
Yeah.
He is man of the house there, and you're right, because you know what's going to happen. If there's certain guys that are of a certain caliber, if results don't come, consistently, people are going to come knocking. Different currencies are going to come knocking, and guys are going to look at the options, and they'll think, okay, look, I did my time. I gave my all, and maybe it's time for me to change turn over a new page, and that's a possibility. But maybe just to finish off on that, from a recruitment perspective, maybe it's also commercial, for them thinking, trying to go play the long game, save money now and try make money elsewhere. I don't know, but it's not working. You're right. It doesn't working, because even the guys that, because I think, for example, guys like Stian Pienaars and those guys, they've got a good number of Currie Cup caps, but it's just not. Guys are not kicking on, guys are not kicking on, and it's concern, and maybe the cracks are starting to show on what real sort of head coach quality is. I'm putting it out there, so baptism of fire, not even baptism, because he's been in the hot seat for a while, so but maybe it's starting to show now, that because you're in the environment, it doesn't necessarily mean you can really be the leader of, a whole organization. I'm just, like I said, I'm putting it out there.
Yeah, Rock Nation, just sign Lions as a union. That's all I want to say.
Hey, you mustn't say that. These guys can just do it. You'll hear next week, not even next week, on Friday. Hey, here's a deal. Rock Nation now owns the Lions as well. Wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, moving on to the next game, the Cheetahs Western Province. I was happy with this game.
Yeah.
Do you know what made me happy about this game is, let me start with one, is I've been for weeks talking about Clayton Blommetjies and, how predictable he is. Now, he did something different in this game where he was carrying the ball back with purpose, with intensity, and what was he doing? My man, he was creating for others, tries were being scored, and all because he was attacking, not trying to do a step. He was just going all in. He was committing, to what he was doing. So I was happy with that, but just that game, there was intensity in that game, fire start, intensity, physical, and look, let's be honest, Western Province are improving. That we can say. For me, they started the improvement in this Cheetahs game, because they were putting the phase plays together, and even they tried the first try, it was just good early try, but then at the same time the Cheetahs defense, was they stood up.
The Cheetahs, it was a very good defense from them. Holding them out.
Cheetahs defense. Yeah, Rudolph as well. He was showing his money's worth all day in that game. And then again, that man, Russ, for me, he was just an intense runner. At the end of the day, look, Cheetahs won that game, but overall for me, it was a very good game. And it's just, like I say, those key points that I picked out of that game was just that really made me sit up and take note.
For me, in that Cheetahs, that Cheetahs side is that's one of my teams now. That's I was watching this team and it was hero versus villain, and Western Province was the villain. I wanted them to lose. I've got I don't like Western Province now. So, watching that game, the Cheetahs, those centers are my fighters. Those are Masuku and Brits. I like what they're doing there. They fit. They okay, if you look at the Lions, look at Odendal and you look at Similani. It's not Jean de Villiers, Jacques Fourie. There's just something that's they're good individual players, but they don't have that thing together.
They don't have a relationship. They don't have a relationship. They play like two estranged brothers. It's like from brothers from another mother, but they have the same father. And it's that beef.
I even when they stand next to each other, it doesn't look like it. But Masuku and Brits, it's those are my fighters. I love those guys. I think it's also having Masuku. He runs very good lines, which maybe it's because you fly half. He knows when he's playing 10. He knows what line he wants. But I mean, even from well, I don't know if it was this game. No, it was the Sharks game where off the maul, you'd expect those type of runs from Damien Dialendi, but he was giving it to them. So even Brits putting in little def grubbers, and I'm liking what I'm seeing from them. He's also got a goose step. I think these guys, they must just, when they sign contracts, they must sign the contract together. They must sign that contract together. They must say, okay, if we're staying, both of us, we're staying for 3 years.
Yeah, it's going to be a package deal.
Yeah, I want to see these guys play together more, Very dynamic. Duncan Stahl as well. He's kicking off. He's getting game time. We saw Fast Cup new, but now it's him and Edo van der Merwe from that Marty's side. They're really kicking off. And I think he had an injury, so it's good to see, when you hit that form following that injury.
Yeah. No, I look, there's nothing more I can add on there except say I agree. I vote with you in that, those guys must be it's a package deal, and you can just see the synergy that they have as a combination is amazing, and we see even more of that in the game when they played against the Sharks, where there was a very angry man playing on the left wing for the Cheetahs. My man, I've never seen Roscoe so mad. Yeah, no, that wasn't Roscoe. That wasn't Spec Magic. That was Spec Magic with wizardry, with all of these things. Look, he was unstoppable. He really was unstoppable. And I don't know. Like I had my reservations from a test perspective. In the box squad, but after seeing that, I'm starting to think, geez, he's a bit unlucky, and I'm starting to think, geez, could this have been a weapon off the bench, to swing momentum?
He's a game breaker. He's just he's got that quality.
Yeah. So, man, but even that game against the Sharks, it was. He had the other little guy as well, Takiri. He saw his role model and he was like, no, I want to be just like you. What you can do, I can try to do the same, not quite as good yet, but I can show, and he did, like you have to, like, and he's showing exactly why he's got that 11 jersey at the Sharks, Takiri Abrams. And he's very good. I've always rated him, but that game against the Sharks as well, I think also it was really seesaw, you score, I score, but
if we're gonna talk that game, I think I also have to acknowledge Cohen Bosch,
Uh,
I do have to say he came with a bit of sauce. We do
yes.
tend to mock him. He's a bit lemon and herb when we wanted more spice, but this time he came out more spicy. Like he was actually some footwork, some goose steps. He was drawing. Yeah, he was showing. So now you can see that he can do it. So why doesn't he? Why hasn't he been doing it?
Yes. And I think, when did this start? I think we spoke about this, I think it was a few episodes ago. So we were saying that, when he was taking it to the line, this is what you want to see. Him taking it to the line, and he was putting defenses in the, question marks in the defenders' minds. And you saw more of that, like you say, he was bringing the sauce. He was taking it to the line, even that try on counter attack as well. He was challenging.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, So look, we always give credit to credit is due, but we call out where we feel it's not correct, So yeah, certainly I agree with you. We definitely have to give him credit because he's showing that he can do it, and rightly so. Your question around why hasn't he been doing it? Has it been maybe a confidence thing?
I don't think so. I think it's that there's different molds of fly halves, and now it's also got to do with your role models and the type of player that you want to be. If you're looking at guys who they go by their kicking prowess and not necessarily running the ball, and then looking up to, let's say, Quade Cooper. If you're looking this way, then you're going to be giving those runs. You're going to be taking chances. You're going to be running at defenses. And I think I don't know, but my speculation is he was trying to be that test match kicker, not that guy that's running, throwing the passes and being adventurous.
You could even argue and say he wasn't being himself, because if you look at him, what made him an exciting prospect was the fact that he was cutting teams apart defensively, not with his running game and not with the boot. The boot was just that added extra bonus, is that, and he can kick. But his main thing was he would run, he would create, so maybe he wasn't being himself. Maybe, the levels of lockdown, they helped him find himself. I don't know. Maybe, maybe.
Well, maybe it's the guys around him. You're seeing a culture shift. You're seeing a culture shift at the Sharks. So maybe you're seeing guys that are doing things in practice, guys that are having a go, guys that are showing him,
Yeah, think about it. If you're right when you say, look at the guys, the culture change and the players that are involved there. Those are guys that they want to get their hands on the ball. Maybe they're still trying to sort out what's going on in the midfield, but everybody else in that backline, they want to get their hands on the ball, and you have to give them the ball, So, and maybe they've been giving him stick, just shaking their heads every time, he calls a move in the backline, they turn their backs and say, we know you're going to kick it. We know you're going to kick it. So, but give him credit because he's starting to show. You can only hope for him that he's able to maintain and grow that aspect of his game.
Yeah.
That's all you can hope for.
Yeah, maybe maybe he thought that's what's going to get him a ball call up, being that that typical fly half. Next game.
Oh, Plymouth Province. I was upset with this one as well. Like, I was just annoyed. I was annoyed because Province won. Let's be honest. Jake Light finally, getting it right with his team. They look, like I was saying, if you look at from the Cheetahs game in midweek and then the game that they played again on the weekend, you can see the improvement in that team. There's no doubting that they're a team that's improving. And coincidentally, the improvement is also coming in line with Namataba as well, in my view.
Yeah, he's back. He's back.
Yes. You get what I mean? I'm glad that we're on the same page, that we're seeing the same picture, because that's what I was seeing, is that, yes, I understand. I see even Russ, the way he plays, but there's a guy that he's not really spoken about so much, but I feel what he brings to that team is so, so big, and you cannot ignore his value, and you see that with the pack. The pack was working well against the Pumas, and look, they put the Pumas under pressure, took their opportunities, and sucker punched them at times. To be honest, when I look at the tries that the other Lade's brother scored, I don't, but let me not talk about that. But anyway, the try.
I know where you're going. Don't go there.
The try that the other Lade's brother scored, but I just felt the Pumas, they also a bit cagey in terms of the way that they played.
Coming into this one, squad depth. I thought when I was looking at the game, even first 5 minutes, first 10 minutes, I was like, yes, they're finally getting squad depth. Neil Murray is back. They got Sterkling playing. Currie Labuskakni, this was his first thing with them. I think he tried too hard, and that's what ultimately, because the guy's got skills, he's got a big boot, he's got something about him. I don't know if it should be at 15. He's got something about him, but I don't know if he's well trusted at 15.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think we saw some good touches from him, but it's 15 where he's can bring the most value to that team.
Especially when you got Devin Williams.
Yeah, I don't think so. I really, I think maybe at the moment you keep Devin Williams at 15 because he brings way more to you. He's got the X factor, he's got the experience, and maybe you've got him at or Currie at on the bench, and you bring him on as cover either for wing or 15 if there's an injury, But again, with this game, I can just say there's also a contentious decision where I don't think it was a forward pass.
Yeah,
the try that was scored, ball came backwards out of their hands, and that was a crucial call because that sort of killed any momentum Pumas were about to build and kept Province at 0-0. And
it was disappointing because the ref thought it was a try.
Yeah, the ref was happy that it was a try, and the ref was happy that it went backwards out of the hands, but somehow he got convinced.
I even thought afterwards because he's like, that's the money shot. I thought he was gonna give the try. I didn't know what was going on there. Good try.
Yeah.
Good. I'm not even calling it a ruled out try. It was a good try.
It was a good try.
And it's that turnover ball goes wide. It was good coaching, good passing.
Pumas are a well-drilled team.
Yeah.
And you see that off that turnover. It wasn't just that one turnover, or one try. There's been multiple instances in that game where, when they get turnover ball, how they shifted very quickly, into space and beat the man. It's good to watch. Like you said, good coaching. You spoke about Neil Murray. For me, I felt like, you can see that he wasn't around for a while, because I didn't feel like he had one of his better games. I've seen him play better, so possibly that's also where they kind of lost it. Then your boy Westrat as well, he didn't have his best game.
But let's go
even
that.
That being said,
let's go before that, because I felt like him not having a good game. It was the whole team didn't have a good game. After just, what was it, around 11 minutes there, 10 minutes. I remember it was just past the 10-minute mark. You've got the yellow. They almost broke away and scored a try. And it's that.
Yeah.
For me, this team is always one pass away. It's the one pass away team where they make that brilliant pass and then it's one pass, it went knock on, whatever. Sharks bring it back. high tackle, yellow card. In the same movement, you've got Kleinhans who goes off injured. He's massive for them. You've got Landsberg goes off injured. Landsberg just came back, and then he got injured. And you saw in the first 10 minutes how good he is already.
Yeah.
You know, and from there, things, I mean, that makes 3 guys that go off.
Yeah. Question, while we're on the Landsberg, before I forget, should the Lions try and call that guy back? I think so.
I would have long done it.
I think so.
When Marvin Ori left, I would have brought him in.
That's your guy to call back, because the Lions are missing something at lock, and what Landsberg is giving to the Pumas, you know, that's you saw it, you know, although Valentine,
and he gives a different dimension. If you look at the Lions locks, twins, they play the same. So he brings a different dimension. I mean, I can see, I don't know if he's still on a Lions contract, but I can see why you would leave him at the Pumas, because it's good training, it's good experience, it's good to be a part of that team.
Yeah.
But as soon as Marvin Ori left, I would have brought him back.
Yeah. No, but you're absolutely right. And then look, you spot on with those injuries and the sort of the momentum killers, as it were, you know, where everything just, it broke everything apart for the Pumas, and it made it harder for them to sort of get going again. Because, look, they did try to get going again, you know, and it shows on the scoreboard. But take away the sucker punch try, you know, that I don't know what happened there with that misread, but it's really, all it is, it's at least 7 points or less that's in this game, you know, and could have gone either way.
For me, it was, okay, it's the yellow card, the injuries that happened. And then besides that, it's just Evan Roos was the difference between...
I know.
He's just the difference between the two sides. He just... The big runs that he makes,
No. That guy, I saw a lot of guys doing this when he was running down the channel. I don't know, but there's that try, that second try that he scored. If you look at the replay from the reverse angle, and how Willie Engelbrecht, his read, he made a poor read, either by the defensive system or by choice. Because, but to me, it looked like it was by choice.
He made a business decision to get out the way.
It looked like it was by choice to me, because I was like, no, why did you go there? You know, that's the danger man, you know, that. So you want to close the danger man, and, you know, because he was the stronger ball carrier.
At the video session, he's like, "It's jammer.
I'm telling you, bro. Like, I'm just saying. But that man Russ, no. I'm just like this. That no, he's a force. He's a real force. And I don't think, I'll be surprised if he doesn't get a look in, doesn't get a sniff too high on us at some point.
No, he will.
He has to. But yeah, look, again.
Other things with Western Province, I just have Juan de Jong is struggling. I know
he's not the same.
He hasn't had game time. We'll see. I mean, it's the same thing like Baba, where get a bit of game time, maybe, you know, you'll come back on form. But De Jong is struggling. He's struggling right now. He doesn't look like a block. And there's some other guys in that Province team. I'm not gonna name them right now, but there's guys in that team that aren't good enough. That Evan Roos is bailing a lot of those guys out, and you know, there's a lot of guys where if I was Evan Roos, I'd be looking around, holding my back, saying, "I'm carrying you guys." So there's that, because it's make or break time for a lot of those guys. It's make or break time in your career, because now it's pro time or contract getting cancelled time for some of those guys. So there's some of them that I'm seeing that aren't good enough, and you're seeing the same thing week in, week out in terms of performance for them, and you only get so many chances.
Do you know who I'm a bit sort of let down by, or slightly disappointed, to be honest, is JD Schickling. From the potential prospect that he was looking like. At some point, I think he was close to test status, wasn't it? Or
Very close. He's close, but the thing is, we've got too many good locks.
Fine, yes, but that doesn't mean that he can't be kicking down the door still, if you know what I mean. To say, hey, I understand that there's stock, but I'm here as well. You know, or that this is my house. You know, because I think, if you look at it, the teams that are struggling, they, like, for example, like Province, Evan Rossi is like, he's becoming the man of the house, but he's still learning because he's young, you know, there's nobody there to show him how to be that, but he's doing it because he's him, you know. And you think JD Schickling would be a guy that's going to, you know, also make that step up and back him up in a way, you know, from that physicality point of view, from that impact point of view. But for me, he's just not doing it, you know. And
I thought the same thing. I think it was a scrum where they were packing down and they zoomed in on him, and then the same thought came to mind when I was like, this guy was almost there. He was almost there. Oh. But I mean, again, we'll see. Maybe he needs a change of scenery, but We'll see what happens, but let's move on from this one before we make even more controversial statement. Bulls at home versus Lions, the last one. Again, like I'll say Lions are useless, man. Lions. Foster over against Foster not looking good in that Bulls jersey. I must say, even Mapu, doesn't look the same.
Couldn't even identify Mapu for a long time.
I thought it was Nizam Khan.
Yeah, I was like, who's this guy? It's like, you know, he looks different, man. Like, it's just like, no. You see what happens when you don't play at home. You know, you trying to fit in elsewhere where you don't belong. You know, that's that's for me. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to fit in where he doesn't belong, man. Like, must go home. Go to the Lions.
This was Hendricks was bullied. Hendricks can't tackle. That's you know, from his first game, I was impressed. Second game, impressed. But now you're starting to see the good and the bad side. He can't tackle, and teams are taking advantage of that now. And he also, I don't think he should be playing the full 8, because it gets to a moment in time where I think mentally he just clocks out. You know, I don't know if it's because you were used to winning a lot before and now things aren't going as well. But I think mentally he does clock out at some point during the second half. Similani at 15, dangerous to give him that space. But I don't see him as a 15 full time.
No. See, he mustn't allow, in my view, he shouldn't allow, or you don't know, whoever makes the decisions or negotiates on his contracts and whatnot, I don't think he needs to give himself the best chance to succeed. And I don't think 15 is the best place for him. You know,
I don't know, because if you look at it, he could affect the game more at 15 than he was at outside center. But maybe that, I mean, if you have a team that spreads the ball, maybe you will be getting those chances playing at 13. But what I saw in this game was he affected the game more at 15 than he was at 13 during other games, because he had that space. And there was, there was times where it's like that. I think it was the Skosan try. Yeah. Where it was almost a Bulls try. They coughed the ball up. Then he brought it round into space. Yeah, Chituka with the big run. Chituka again. They gave him a rest midweek. And
Yeah.
He put in a weak shift on Sunday. He was all over the place. Again, it's like Evan Ruiz, where he's standout player.
Yes, you see, that's the thing. Okay, and I can agree with you. You know, in terms of Simelane affecting the game, you know, from 15. I think yes, you know, I think from an attacking point of view, 13 and 15 is a bit different, you know, because 13 mainly, you know, maybe there's a bigger reliance on the ball coming down the line as opposed to, you know, whereas at 15, you know, you're roaming, you've got license and they kick it to you. And yeah, I can see him. He definitely does have the qualities. He's a good enough player to play there. I mean, we've seen him do it at junior levels where he can play 15, 13, or even on the wing. You know, I just feel just in terms of what he brings from an attacking perspective at 13, it's a picture that we haven't seen in a while in SA Rugby, you know, from a number 13 that's got those feet, those hands, ball in two hands, being able to, you know, straighten the line nicely, put guys away. And he also has the kicking game as well for those little grabbers. That's why I'm just concerned, and I wouldn't want to see him.
My issue with 15 is the 15, the ladder to the top is there's a lot more guys there.
Yeah.
The ladder to the top is it's stacked a lot higher. There's a lot more guys that you're gonna have to go through. I mean, we've seen Sergio Peterson, he moving to 15. There's Halan still got to come back. You've got Willemse that was playing 15. Then you've got Willie Leroux that doesn't look like he's giving it up anytime soon.
Yeah.
So
then you've got Fassi as well.
Yeah, you've got Fassi as well. So 15, that's why I would have my apprehensions. But in terms of affecting the game, and especially for the Lions, because 15, as we noted, is a problem position.
Look, evidently the coaches thought so too this weekend, and they sorted it out. And there was an improvement. Let's be honest. From that aspect, there was an improvement. I think the Bulls are just too much for the Lions.
Yeah.
The Bulls, from a pack perspective, because don't forget they're also confident because they beat SAA. You know, so they have their tails up. You know, plus. They've got who's this, the golden goose, you know, Hussein in there, you know, he's lighting it up.
How much do you think the bonuses were? The SAA bonuses. How much do you think touched their accounts?
Hey man, I think even Jake made a call to the two shareholders and said, "Did you see? You know, did you guys see?" I know he was probably like, "Look, I know you're busy with CAF and all of that stuff, and I know you're busy with state capture, but did you see? You know, you know." So I think, geez,
they were pulling off their own state capture. They captured the ball.
No, they were learning from their best, right? So hey, yeah, but I know, man, the Bulls are just too much for the Lions. Too much. The physicality, the intensity of the pack, the set piece. For me, it's this. You can see the coaching starting to come through. Really, where the difference, you know, in the coaching is. Like, you can see there's winning ways and there's cash ways. I don't know. There's winning ways and there's cash ways. I don't know which one's taking the cake, but. Yeah, you can't fault the Bulls, man. I think all around, I'm just, you know, how can I say, just interested to see what's going to happen now, you know, with Hendricks now. He found himself back on the wing and he was hot property at center.
Yeah, I wouldn't be happy about that.
It's, okay, I understand they're trying to build depth, you know, and looks like they're trying to put together some super team there, you know. But they also have the danger of creating a revolving door culture there, you know, because it's just like guys are going in and out, and yeah, you'd have to think at some point they would have to settle, you know, on what works for them. But all in all, you know, Johan Goosen, for me, he's the big difference for that Bulls, especially on attack. especially on attack. He's the big difference for them. And then their pack. Look, Matanzima in their pack. All of a sudden, their ball scrum is looking so much better. You know, all of a sudden the ball scrum is looking so much better. And I'll put my money on Matanzima that it's because of him. Because even before his injury, we saw what he could do. You know, and I've rated him ever since he made his debut, and I'm like, you know, he's a big difference maker there. You know, and the all-round pack work rate, they're a better team. You know, and the Lions are there's problems. There's problems. Yeah.
Hopefully no more problems this weekend, especially with the Boks. That's what I'm looking forward to. Any closing remarks, Chris?
All I'm saying is that I'm stressed because of these guys. You know, I'm stressed. I'm thinking about Saturday. You know, and imagine if we're stressed or if I'm stressed. Imagine them. They feeling they know what's at stake. You know, this weekend. So look, it's do or die, and I believe they'll do it. You know, and the Lions, in order to beat the Boks in the second test, they will have to play beyond themselves to beat these guys, because our guys will come out firing. I believe that, and I back them 100%.
We'll see how it goes. Hopefully next week we won't be singing these sad songs, and
I'm hoping I'll have a Castle Lager next week in my hand, you know.
Yeah, no, not drinking today. We don't deserve the champagne. We don't deserve the champagne.
No ways.
And that's it. Thanks for watching. W Switch Pod. Out.